go. Here we go, bow. So we're going to have a really good look at our Kung Fu routines this morning. Try to do some real good routines. A little bit of warming up to start with. So here we go, jogging on the spot. And sprint. And relax again, knee lifting. And now the monkey squats. Squat down, stand, change. Now, swinging your arms forwards, back, in and out. Twist. And now the dog's shaking water off its back. And the standing version. So we've got a lot of movement from here in the belt channel. Twisting and relax. Okay. So to the next step of warming up, we will each go through 3 Sun Chen individually, and then we'll start taking it in turns. Yeah. Okay then. So, the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to take it in turns. One to do our Sun Chen, and the others to give a little feedback on how it's going. Who wants to start? Yeah. Okay. So we take a look at Buddha-san's Sun Chen. What do you think?
For me, it looks really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Very good. Not a lot to say about that, other than that's pretty good. Make sure you really compress the core when you do the reverse abdominal breath. At the end, hand on the center line, elbows close together, and then as usual the wrist out. Yeah. Okay.
So is it coming across then a little bit? Because I can't get my elbow in without compromising my chest, so it's not a straight line down this way. It's kind of coming across
Yeah.
the middle a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's got to slant across.
Okay.
That ends up on the center line. If the elbow doesn't go on the center line, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think I've been doing the straight and not coming across.
That's it. That's good. Okay, so what's your evaluation of that routine? How's it going?
Pretty good. Actually teaching the class with the faces and the senses made me read up on it. Made me kind of open up the face more, try to get more activation in my senses.
Yeah.
I can feel a little tightness still coming through. Like sometimes feels like my fingers come loose, and the energy isn't driving through. On a couple of them, it came through real well, and then the wrist comes.
Yeah.
And when I don't, it kind of disperses. So.
Yeah.
It's something.
So if the energy's a little blocked, then instead of it just coming straight down, it gets trapped there, and you get a.
I get the fingers come loose and everything.
Yeah.
Instead of that like driving through, and then usually when I keep this tight but not forced, then I can get that wrist.
Yeah.
And I think I had that on maybe two of the 6 rounds there.
Oh, that's good. Once you can do it, it's not so hard to do it every time. Doing it the first time, that's really hard. Yeah. Once you can do it a third of the times, that's not long before you're doing it half the time, and then it's not much longer before you do it all the time. Very good, very good. That's really looking good. We go next.
Okay. Well, a few things are nice. Your back is nice. The structure's there. I would say the chin, more in. Chin's kind of sticking out like this, and it's not really coming back. But what I noticed from the stance, it looked okay. I wasn't paying super close attention. Maybe with the breathing, trying to get a little bit more abdominal, reverse abdominal breathing on the inhale, and not just when you're here, but actually because it looks like your stomach's expanding on the inhale, which is the opposite. And then, just really trying to let it go. It looks a little tight, but you're relatively new to the practice, so I don't have super high expectations. Those are kind of the things that I initially noticed.
Okay, thanks.
Kind of minor, but important.
Yeah, okay, pretty good. First thing, right at the start, when you bring your hands up to the belt channel, I think you're a little low. I think you need to come a little higher. That soft, sensitive part there, that's it. That's where they go. Chin back, like the face. Practice on the face. Now, when you throw your hands out, we'll want relaxation so that the energy can flow to the end. You're coming a little inward of center, but they come relaxed and straight, and it's a very straight line thing, so I'd like you to do that. Let's take a look. Yeah, a little bit wider. Relax the shoulder, let it drop down. Tilt your hip a little bit more, get back into the stance, and then let's do that once more. Good, and one more. Okay, excellent. Now do the next bit. That's more like it. That's where you should be ending, there. So really strong twist. Now you can get that on your own. That's where it should be, yeah. Try to get it there every time. Good. Okay. Next thing, you're going to have a look at me and give me feedback on my subject. Yeah. So here we go. Okay, so what's your take on that?
it looks pretty good, but you're the master. It's always a little difficult. Your hands come down pretty low. I don't know how
Okay.
much that matters.
So they lift the hands higher. Yeah.
They kind of come down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah. I guess I have a mic now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a little interesting critiquing the master or the teacher because they're probably doing it more right than I am.
Well,
so
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Keep going.
The end had a lot of springy power,
Yep.
but not so much in the
Yep.
individual.
I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I was wondering for the same here.
Yeah.
Pull back. If this should be more line. And
Yep. Where is it at the moment? It's a bit low.
yes.
Yeah, it's a bit low. Yeah. Okay. Nobody ever watches me and gives me feedback.
There was a slight lean forward in the beginning, but then that
Yeah.
changed as you
Sorted out. Yeah.
started moving.
Okay. And my own kind of self-evaluation. Yeah. Always evaluate your own routine every time. Number one, just got back from holiday, and my fascia is not as springy. It's not as tight as it usually is. Take a break and you relax more, and then you're not as springy because you haven't been training the fascia. And then this very, very humid weather, I find it has the same effect. It makes the fascia more loose, which is great for stretching, but it's not, you don't get as much springy strength. So that's why it's not bouncing as much, because the fascia is too slack. Well, it's okay. I'll get back into training after my little holiday. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now, practice 2 times through one of your freehand routines. And then we'll do the same thing, but with a different routine, not the Sun Chen. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go then. Selena, you start us off.
Yes.
Which one are you going to do?
Chapsa.
Tapsa type 4. Yeah, here we go. Pretty good, yeah. So, we're going to start off with what did you think of that?
I could feel that the energy was stuck.
Yeah,
That
energy
was not
scans.
relaxed enough in
Yeah.
the shoulders. Thank you. For the first part here, I was too fast. Was not finishing the movements.
Yeah, right, okay. Not completing the movement. Okay, good. Well, okay, so you know what you got to work on.
Yes.
Yeah. Blue Sun, do you want to pitch in?
Sure. Not finishing is kind of like really allowing that to come out even in that, and then getting that curl up, but you're already aware of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like every time, but sometimes you do this kind of wrist flick instead of driving through with the fingers. I noticed that in the Sum Chen too. There's kind of this. But I would see how to like let go a little bit.
Yeah.
So sometimes it looks like you're kind of positioning the move instead of striking with the move, especially these ones.
Yeah.
You come down, and then just you're just stopping right there instead of really like coming through and letting everything. I see the movement here, and then it just stops.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just kind of is like, and I saw kind of the similar with this section as well. It was like it just kind of short-armed it, not allowing it to kind of come all the way through. Yeah. As far as critiquing wise, yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah. Okay, well, let's pick it up from there. First example, the chop. Yeah. I want you to compare this with this. And we think about a difference. This is normal people train martial art. They look at the movement and say, what are they doing? They're ending up with the hand there. People look at the end of the movement. Yeah. Instead of looking at the movement as a whole. Yeah. And then we get the idea, okay, I've got to put my hand there. And if I put my hand there, I've done it right. And then, again, if you don't understand martial art, okay, I put my hand there, now I'm doing it right. Now I've got to do it with strength, I've got to do it with force. But if you hit someone like that, it's not, it's nothing. It's a nothingness, yeah. Because you're holding back, you're not letting it go. Now, if you're loose and you just think about delivering force, think about hitting, yeah. How do you hit? Yeah. You want to hit like you mean it. Yeah. That way, hit. Concentrate on hitting. Don't think about the position. It's not like, okay, I have to do that pose. It's, okay, I'm using this blade of the hand, and I'm going to hit someone's neck, and I'm going to knock them out. Yeah. Now, the same thing here. Yeah. Held back. Let go. Let go. It's an act of hitting. You've got to let the punch go, you've got to let it fly, you've got to let the move go. Remember, that's why we talk about throwing a punch, not putting a punch. Because when you throw something, you've got to let go. There. Now let's think about this one. Same thing. Pull back, throw it out, let go. Let it go. Don't hold it back, let it go. Yeah. Okay. That's my little bit of input there. Yeah, welcome. Do you want to do yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Very good. I'll let you get your breath back. And Selena, what did you think?
Looks pretty good. I don't know the routine, so I don't know where to focus
Okay.
on. But for me, it looked really good, like how you bring your energy through. You are not so happy with that?
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm unhappy. Felt rushed.
Okay.
Felt rushed. A couple moves feels like I didn't finish properly, especially this one. I didn't really coil it up. I just rushed into the next one. I'm still not feeling 100% with a certain sequence.
That one. Yeah.
And then moving into this next one, I felt actually pretty good with this part. I don't know if it was right or not, but from here, and then all the way, yeah, just that little sequence there. Getting more smooth with this, but still not exactly where I want it to be. Yeah, that's the smarter idea. Instead of holding it in my hand, giving this weird echoing. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, like I actually felt really good on that move. And then here, still not as smooth. Definitely not here. I thought I did better on the release, but the lead up to it felt a little clunky. The end felt better, better than it has been. I'm sure there's still plenty to say about it, but that coming up, I had really struggled with getting the movement there. It felt like I was getting more of the energy through than I have been. But again, I'm not saying that it was perfect.
Okay, good. So, you know what to work on. You know what you got to do. So you've gone through and you've evaluated your routine on movement of energy, flow of the routine. Yeah. Oh, that's good. So that's what we should be thinking about. Yeah. When you see someone do a routine that you don't know, you do know about movement of energy. You do know about stance. You do know about structure, body mechanics. So you look at those. It's not about whether you know the moves or not. So my feedback, the very initial sequence, we want a lot more movement around the belt channel.
How much can I come out with the punch? Because I struggle with getting the energy through there. It doesn't surprise me that you're telling me the belt channel, because it feels, I feel like I'm holding it back. I'm not sure how to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, here's a good little bit of advice.
Use the legs, use the core.
How do you evaluate if you did a move well or if you did it badly? Okay. So if your evaluation is, wow, I've ended up with my fist in the right position, not so smart. If your evaluation is, well, did I really deliver a punch? Is that a punch that, if I'd got there, that would have winded someone? Yeah, they would have maybe broken or floating ribs. Was it really a punch? Or did I just put my fist there? Then what we're actually saying is, did I really get energy to flow through down to the point of impact to do the job? Did my energy flow or did it not flow? Did I do it? Is that really a punch, or was I just putting my fist there? There you go. So if you do it and say, to be honest with myself, I just put my fist there. Well, okay, how do I let go and get it to go properly? Yeah, then you got it.
By watching you, I'm seeing a lot of the things I didn't do.
Yeah.
Just from watching that movement,
Yeah.
like learning through osmosis, kind of like, okay. What I did didn't feel anything like what I'm watching you do.
Yeah. So often you learn more just by having a look than you do by an explanation. Yeah. Go beyond language, go beyond thought. Yeah, go beyond words. Soak it up. There. To there.
Yeah, I didn't bring it across at all. Yeah.
So this is your classic kind of deflection. But we want to keep it going, keep it moving. Not sure I did that quite right, but there you go. There's your momentum, there's your energy. Now turn and out. the energy moves, you gather it in, and then you shoot it out. It's a continuous flow. Gather it in, shoot it out. Okay. And the same comes at other points where you kind of gather energy in, out. What other ones in there? Can't remember. Probably a few more. Conscious of when energy's coming in, conscious of when it's going out.
Would you consider that this move, that same kind of idea where you're like coiling
That's
up?
definitely in, yeah, and that's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very good. So,
Thank you.
I think that's good for now. Right, so I'll do mine. And kind of pushing myself to do this, not chickening out. I haven't been practicing it for a while, so I gotta get on and do it.
Do you want to keep the mic on? I don't care either way. I didn't know if it might go flying or get in your way.
Okay, so we're going to do the comment pricing technique.
Well, first of all, that's an impressive routine. Pretty long. Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of things that looked really good with the movement. You could really see the energy coming through and using the whole body. Somewhat inspiring. In the beginning, it was a little difficult. A couple of the moves looked a little rushed from my perspective, just because I couldn't kind of see them finish. But the energy never stopped. So I'm not sure if it matters as much, because it wasn't like the situation where the move isn't finished, but the energy kind of stops. You know, like they kind of come up here and they're going on to the next one, but the energy still seemed like it was coming through. But I wasn't really able to determine what the move was.
Yeah.
And then it kind of slowed down there at the end, but I imagine that's part of the routine as much as part of just your own cardio, being on vacation and whatnot, or maybe that's the way it's supposed to be.
It slows down and it speeds up again. Yeah.
Yeah, the was quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
It looked
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I personally love that routine. It always seems to
It's a
embody,
great routine. Yeah.
seems to embody a lot of the Xuanyang.
Yes, so we see a lot of the Swan Young moves done tiger crane style. Yeah. I'll respond to that in a minute. What did you think, Selena?
For me, same. I was impressed
Yeah.
about the flow in the fast movements and then the slowing down. But as you said, the energy never stopped going through. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there were actually a couple of mistakes in there. Because I didn't do that properly before the jump. And then it's always a very difficult one from the kick to get a really good sweep into that one. It could have been a lot better. And yeah, I said earlier, not very springy today. And the fasting, I'd forgotten, that's another thing that tends to slightly loosen the tendon. So we got to decide how we're going to present the routine. How are we going to do it? How are we going to make it look? So we get the first bit goes like this, slightly slowed down. Okay. So how I did it, the first two, fairly, how we normally do it, with a bit of spring at the end. Quick, but with a little bit of spring at the end. 1, 2, and then I've done a very kind of continuous to there, going for speed. See, it looks nice if you do it fast. So now let's compare another way to do it from there. A little bit more spring in the movements. Let's see if I can do that a bit better. Yeah, I like it a bit more. That's a bit better, yeah. So we got spring and we got character, but it's not as fast and it's not quite as continuous. The first way, and what I was doing, hang on, 1, 2. It's what I show. Let's do it. It was trying to do it more continuously, not really do so much of this spring, but just move through, still getting the energy down, making it flow faster. So then we got the question, which way is right? That's where, in the end, you decide how you're going to express your art. It's your decision. Both ways are right. Which one am I going to pick? Which one am I going to choose? Yeah. We've gone through the basic routines, built up our ability. When you get on to the advanced ones, remember it's an art. Yeah. And art involves, expressing yourself through what you do. And there has to be variation, it has to be individual interpretation. You've got to put your own kind of charisma in there and make it yours. So I might not do it the same another day. I don't do it the same every day because I'm not feeling the same every day, and I'm trying to kind of express the energy that I've got. At the start, okay, we got a nice quick bit, and then later on we've got some of the more typical sort of put the energy in, make it spring at the end. So it's all there in the routine, but there's a little bit of variation. It's not all looking the same. So when you do a demonstration, it's not looking boring because it's got a bit like this, a bit like that, and you see different aspects, different elements of the art. That's the idea.
So may I share kind of, I guess I'm kind of asking if this is, it was an observation, but there's somewhere in there, there's also kind of a question, or if this is an accurate observation, I guess. So when you did it with really focusing on the springy power there, kind of showing it, that first bit, it looked good with the springy, but it seemed to almost have less character because the speed was kind of the same. There wasn't this flow as much.
Oh, okay.
Where when you did it before, the first time, there was this character a little bit more, and I don't know if that's the right use of the word character, but it had this kind of expression coming through, and I guess I'm just wondering, am I observing that right, or am I just kind of making that up?
Yeah, it is. It is right. When I did the whole routine, I'm trying to kind of bring everything together. When I was demonstrating the little sequences, I'm trying to emphasize one point. But let's variation in pace. Variation in pace brings it to life. It shouldn't be robotic. So it's quite easy to demonstrate this, referring to your routine, the Chop Sato Po. Yeah. So I'm going to do two versions. Yeah. Okay. That's version 1. Version 2. Yeah. So there's a very noticeable difference when you look at the two together. The first one looks completely robotic. It's completely dead. There's no movement of energy. Second one is the opposite. And then you got the beginner and the advanced, the expert. You got the auto ran and the competition winner. Here's an interesting point that certainly when I was training in Singapore, the Chinese guys, they got this. It was totally obvious to them. You didn't see them looking very robotic. they were often very lazy, but they weren't stiff and robotic. And then you look at the Westerners, and they tend to be very tight and stiff and robotic. They're trying much harder. They're not lazy, they're really trying, they really want to try hard, they're really going for it, but they're way too tense, way too stiff, and the flow and the rhythm just, not there at all. They, culturally, the Chinese tend to get it. Yeah. Pretty good. Well, we're coming towards the end of our time. Any questions before we wrap it up?
Yeah, how to get more like the Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, less robotic and more, because I find myself being kind of robotic. And
Yeah, but on the scale of things, as Westerners go, you're at the very fluid end of the scale, really. Yeah. But you've got to practice.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we've done a good kind of stimulating, thought-stimulating practice session today, and you just got to go out there and make it happen. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think we'll wrap it up there. I think that's pretty good. Thanks to everybody who's been watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. And we'll be back 3:30 Thai time tomorrow.